Hey, what's going on, YouTube? Thank you for coming back to another episode of Scattered Brilliancy. My name is Travis, and you already know what time it is. Yes, it is back. Married at First Sight, Season 5, Chicago, Illinois. Okay, we're going to do our best to be positive and to try to make it through this season. We're going to do our best. So, last night was the premiere of Love at First Sight. Married at First Sight. I feel like I do that every time. Married at First Sight, Season 5, Episode 5, 6, Episodes 1 through 5, because I swear they showed like 10 episodes back to back. I'm going to go ahead and preface and say I was outside earlier today and my allergies are on 10, so excuse any sniffing and sneezing, please. One thing to note is the show is no longer on A&E FYI, is now on Lifetime. I think that says a lot about the direction of the show. I think it's a good chance that A&E was like, you know what, this show really isn't doing that well, so let's let it go. And Lifetime picked it up, so I don't really foresee this show lasting that many more seasons. So let's just enjoy Season 5 as if it's the last one. I don't understand why they're still showing the matchmaking special. I don't care about it. I feel like most people don't care about it, especially when y'all have already put out who the 6 couples are. That doesn't make any sense to me. Why are we watching a matchmaking special when we already know who the 6 people are? When you're showing them in the commercials for the season. When they're doing interviews with People magazine. I knew who the 6 people were before the show came on. I had names and ages. Oh, I sound stuffy. I had names and ages before the show even came on. Why are we still doing the matchmaking special? It doesn't make any sense to me. But all right, so the premiere was entirely too long. Entirely too long. I didn't even watch the matchmaker special. So the actual episode, 2 episodes plus the matchmaker special, that was 3.5 hours. We have the same doctors back this year. The only one of the differences is it's not 6 weeks, it's now 8 weeks. So let's go ahead and jump into the episode. I'm not going to go into play-by-plays. Just going to kind of give you an overview and my thoughts on each couple and each person and, you know, how I think and my predictions on if I think they're going to make it or not. I don't remember what my predictions were last time. I probably should have looked at that before I started this video, but whatever. So we start off with Sheila. Sheila is 31, and she is a director of operations at a school district up in Illinois. And we have Nathan, also goes by Nate. He is 25, and he is a business manager. They're the black couple on the show. We have Danielle, she's 30, and she's a registered dietitian. And we have Cody, he's 26, and he is a gym owner / entrepreneur. Then we have Ashley, she's 30 and a restaurant manager. And Anthony, he's 33 and a sales and marketing professional. So let's start with Ashley and Anthony. I think each couple, I feel like they always have couples that kind of fit into a category. You can have a couple who is like instantly attracted, instant chemistry, and they just hit off immediately. You have a couple who's kind of in the middle. Then you have a couple who's a little more cold to each other. Ashley and Anthony, they're that couple that kind of hit it off, and they're just, you know, oh my gosh, I'm pretty sure I'm going to spend the whole rest of my life with you. That's them. That's who they are. There wasn't much to say about them. The reason why they got matched is because they both love children. They both come from big Italian families. So the doctors felt like they had values that are similar. So that is why they put them together. One thing to note is before Anthony actually met Ashley, he had a dream. Before he was even told that he was matched, he had a dream that he was in a dark room or something. And there was a flashlight, and a flashlight revealed a letter A. And he didn't know what that meant. And then come to find out the woman that he was marrying, name starts with an A. And he actually found out her name before he even met her because her sister accidentally let it slip before she came out. So like I said, they have great chemistry. She seems to be really, really into him. He seems to be really into her. Things that I noticed was that his face doesn't really move that much when he's smiling. His smile was kind of like every time he smiled, it was kind of like right here. Like that's where I felt his smile was stuck at. But they seem cool. Like I said, she seems to be really into him. They really enjoy kissing. One thing I found funny was when they were at the reception and she said, "Oh, he's such a great dancer." I was like, "Where? Where's he a great dancer? Because I don't see it. Maybe they didn't show that footage. But I think by the end of the season, they'll still be together. At least before the reunion. They'll decide to stay married. That's my prediction for Ashley and Anthony. I watched this episode because it was so long in 3 sections, so I'm not really that into it. And I don't feel like I really got a good grasp of everything because I watched it so broken apart because it was just too much to take in at one time. So, and my allergies are getting on my nerves right now, so I'm kind of over the video already. Next up, we'll talk about Danielle and Cody. What can I say about them? They both thought each other were attractive. I put down that they were the most awkward couple. I didn't really pay them much attention. I was a lot more interested in Ashley and Anthony and Sheila and Nate than I was Cody and Danielle. They're not really memorable for me. Nothing about them really sticks out. And I think that they're going to be the couple that doesn't make it. There'll be at least one of the couples that does not make it this season. If no one makes it, it'll definitely be them. But interesting fact is Cody was going through the process with his brother. Obviously, his brother didn't find a match, but they found a match for Cody. So, yeah, that's all I got for them. Now let's go to Sheila and Nate. So, like I said, Sheila is a director of operations at a school district, and he's a business owner. I have a lot of notes about them because a lot of the interesting stuff that happened last night had to do with them. For example, Sheila felt it was necessary to tell us that she never had an orgasm before. Okay, thanks for letting us know that. We now know that that is his main objective in the previews for the rest of the season. He calls himself a savage. And so I guess that's his goal, to try to get her to have the big O. Nate's mom was not approving. None of the families were really approving of them getting married at first sight, but his mom really seemed to be against it. And, okay, there's 2 things I got to talk about with them. The biggest, funny, most entertaining thing with them was the dads and the dad's dynamic and seeing them go back and forth. Nate's dad was not in his life. I guess that's a fact to add. His dad left his mom, but his dad showed up at the wedding with a hat cocked to the side. Didn't really understand why he had that hat on up until he took it off towards the end of the episode. He had a patch of hair that was like right here, like right there. It's like that long. I was thinking to myself, you could have kept the hat on. You could have kept it on. So his dad was real ignorant. He would be classified as ghetto, as hood, you know. You get it. But at first I was thinking the dads weren't getting along, but that was just good editing on Lifetime's part, but they seem to be cool. Her dad is, he's in the church, and, like a lot of church people, he says words wrong, and he said, I want y'all to be successful several times. He kept saying successful. And it reminded me of an old boss of mine who is real heavy with his essence. Real heavy with his essence, but we won't go there. So the thing that I wanted to mention about Sheila and Nate, as well as Cody and Danielle, is this huge age difference between the man and the woman. The woman is 5 years older than the guy, which I think that's going to be a big issue this season. I think there's going to be a lot of talk about maturity. So I was really, really surprised to see that they had 2 couples that had such large age gaps. And first impressions of Nate and Sheila. Sheila comes off very naive, very gullible, very like she has thoughts of rainbows and unicorns and sugar plum fairies. And Nate comes off like he's a reformed player who just decided to change his ways 2 days before this wedding. I believe Nate has been spitting a lot of game at the camera and a lot of game at Sheila, and I'm not buying any of it. I don't really think he was ready to get married. For some reason, feel like Nate is using this show for a come up of some type. He doesn't read sincere, but Sheila reads him as being sincere in his vows and everything. She was like crying and tearing up, and I'm like, man, you just met him. Like he's hitting you like that. And she was like, he's so passionate. I said, no, ma'am, that's not passion. That's lust. That's what that is. There's a difference between passion and lust, and that's lust. I know lust when I see it. He wants to get in those straws. And once he finds out you never had an orgasm, oh boy, he's really going to want to get up in them panties. But Something about Nate just does not seem genuine that he is really all for this process. So I don't really know why I get that reading from him. I'm not really sure, but I don't believe that he really wanted to get married at that point at 25. Because, for example, for me, I wanted to get married at 25, but I wasn't doing single man things. He seems like he still might have a single man mindset at the point of them getting married. All the couples kissed at the wedding, for the you may now kiss the bride and for the photos. So that was cool to see that they're all somewhat comfortable with each other. But every time Nate kissed Sheila, I just felt uncomfortable. I felt like I was seeing something that I shouldn't have seen, which is why it made me feel like he just wants them draws. Because every time he kissed her, he was like, y'all remember how he used to say, old girl trout mouth kissed last season? Like he just seemed to be like taking over her face, just like he just, why your mouth open so wide? That's all I was thinking. But I'm interested to see how this season's going to go. I'm still going to watch. I'm still going to do my best to review. I'm not really excited about the season. Nothing about it. Oh, let me not forget to mention, Nate lives with his brother. And his brother is going to be living with them. So that's going to be entertaining. But it might be a letdown, just like the bus was last year. So let me not get excited. It probably is going to be a letdown, just like the bus. And for all we know, Sheila's going to be like, come on, little brother. It's okay. Come live with us. So I'm not really excited to watch this season. I don't really think it's anything exciting that's going to happen. It just doesn't seem, just let this be it. Just stop the show after this. I mean, just stop. Because it's not that it's making a mockery of marriage, but it's just okay at this point. It's not really that great of a show anymore. But yeah, that's my lackluster review of Married at First Sight season 5 premiere. It's a lot of because that show was entirely too long with not enough stuff to keep me interested last night. So, Nate and Sheila, I don't think they'll make it. Rob, his name's not Rob. Cody and Danielle, I don't think they'll make it. Ashley and Anthony, I think they'll make it. And this is just talking about up until the end of the show before the reunion. That's my prediction for this season. So make sure you remember to like, rate, comment, and subscribe to my channel. Thank you all for your congratulatory messages on my last video. We truly appreciate it. And I'll be talking to you all later. Peace.